Hey guys, we are back with some more Halifax Tugboats franchise mode. Last time we traded for a great backup goaltender in Yaroslav Halak, and this time we are going to continue the season simulation, probably up to the trade deadline. And I'm not sure if we're going to be making any trades because we do have a pretty solid team at the moment. We are currently 18, 11, and 6. So, I mean, not bad. Could be a bit better, I feel like. But, you know, for a team that doesn't have, I mean, we have depth. We just don't have that stud up front. I mean, Matt Duchene is the closest thing we have to a stud. He's an 88 overall. And, well, Brendan Saad, obviously, as well, since he's an 88. But we really, I think what makes us a good team is the fact that we have a really deep defensive core. We have a deep forward core. And we have very solid goaltending in Korpisalo and now Yaroslav Halak. So I don't know why it's not showing me January here. We're on January 19th, but it's just staying on the 31st of December. Okay, whatever you want to do, game. Well, can we stop this? Please? Can I get into January without this game lagging? There we go. Okay. So I didn't see the majority of those games there. So win, loss, win, win, loss, 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 win, loss, win, loss, win, win. Okay, so really a lot of back and forth going on here. Let's just simulate one more week just so we can get to February. So 2 more days here. No scout there. All right. Keep going. And there you go. We are now in February, 26, 17, and 7. We have a rather competitive Metropolitan Division, although we are sitting in second currently, but tied for second with the Pittsburgh Penguins, 59 points. And Carolina, we're only 1 point out of first as well. Carolina has 60. New York Islanders, like, it's a really tight race in the Metropolitan this year. It's a really competitive Metropolitan Division. So let's see. Yep, the second line continues to be our leading point scoring line for some reason. Wenberg and Yakupov, and then Nicoletti. He's doesn't have the greatest plus minus, but he's getting a lot of points. And for $2.75 million for 4 years for an 88 overall offensive defenseman, that is great. You know, I'll take one person being a minus if it's Letty, you know. But it appears down here we have a lot more minuses in Duchene, Saad, Atkinson, Bjorkstrand. Maybe we need to change that first line up a bit. But then again, we're winning games, man. So I don't know. I really don't know. Hopefully they can come through in the playoffs when it's like really needed. And, you know, man, it's a really tight Metropolitan Division this year. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Yaroslav Halak is much better than Forsberg. And then Korpisalo obviously shutting it down in the starter position. So, I mean, not the greatest, because I would really love that first line to get going, but I really don't know what to do because I don't want to break up that second line because of how they're producing. And the slightest change, like the slightest negative change in this team could bring us out of a playoff spot, because look how competitive this division is. Besides the Philadelphia Flyers, like, and maybe the Washington Capitals, like pretty much everyone in this division is in the race for first in the division anyway. So if we check out the Atlantic Division, okay, so the Atlantic Division has actually started winning a few games, or at least Boston and Montreal have. Not the rest of their division, but yeah, the Metropolitan Division is still looking like the dominant division here in the NHL. Even the Pacific Division, I mean, they got 3 teams there, then Los Angeles, but then after that, it kind of drops off. The Central Division, the Central Division is pretty competitive. I'll give them that, but they're not. It's not as close of a race as it is here in the Metropolitan. Like, the difference between first and sixth is 3 points. Like, that's, you don't see that. I don't think you see that very often this far into the season, you know. where 6 teams in the same division are pretty much neck and neck and neck and neck, So, yeah. Anyway, goals for per game. We are second in the Metropolitan Division with seven, 7 goals per game. That'd be something else. That'd be a championship team. 2.74, a goals against average of 2.4. So we're pretty solid, pretty solid. Power play, we are first in the Metropolitan with 21.9, and penalty kill, we are first in the Metropolitan Division with 83.6. So really nothing to change here, boys. I mean, the only thing I can think to change is the first line, and we're winning games at the same time. Well, I mean, we're not winning every game, but we're staying competitive. So I don't really know exactly what to make of this situation. It's kind of like, well, do we want a better first line, or do we just keep letting the balanced goal scoring come into play, through our first, second, and third line. Okay, so yeah, Q for forwards for 6 weeks. Right. Okay, so Vancouver, New Jersey, Montreal. I was about to say Metropolitan. I was like, I've been saying the Metropolitan Division so much this episode. It's like, oh, and then I see MTL, and it's like, oh, Metropolitan. It's got that's got all those letters in it, so it must be the Metropolitan Canadians. Yeah, that's it. And here we go again. The Metropolitan Canadians. Jesus Christ. I mean, at least we got those wins there against Montreal and Calgary, but then we lost big against Montreal once again. That was actually the only game in that entire week, so that's interesting. But then we came back against Pittsburgh 5-2, Washington 3-0, but then another 2 losses against San Jose and Winnipeg. Maybe we do make a change. I don't know, because our winning and losing seems to be very much a pattern here. Like we win a couple, we lose a couple, we win a couple. Like it's going back and forth now, at the point where we are 30, 21, and 10. We're sitting in a wild card spot again. I don't know what to do, boys, because, again, it's a very, very competitive Metropolitan Division this year. I don't know. What do we do? What do we do? Do we move Bjorkstrand off of that first line? I don't know, because I feel like he has a really good shot. He has nice puck skills. Like, what do we do? Do we move Saad off of that? Like, I don't know. He's our captain, plus he's a really nice, well-rounded player. Maybe do we move Saad to the second line? And no, I don't want to break up that second line. That second line is doing very well. Jenner's a +20. I mean, Yakupov +19 and Wenberg +13. They're all getting a lot of points. Only Duchesne has more than Jenner, at least for first liners. So, man, it's really tough. Like even Cam Atkinson, Cam Atkinson's on the third line. I'm pretty sure he's on the power play as well, but he's on the third line and then the second line power play time, and he has more points than Saad, who's on the first line power play and first line. So it's like, well, I mean, I know Atkinson's a sniper. I know Saad's a two-way forward, but still, like Saad's getting way more ice time, I think, than Cam Atkinson. So, yeah, he's getting quite a bit more ice time there. I mean, it's not a whole lot, like if we're comparing Duchesne to, let's say, Carlson, of course, because, Carlson's fourth line, Duchesne's first line, but man, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to make of that first line, because again, I don't want to break up the chemistry of our team because we have so many depth scorers here. But at the same time, it's a really competitive Metropolitan Division, so I really don't know what to do here. I mean, at least, we have a few pluses on the team. Harrington is a +17, so he's doing his job. Savard is a -11. Maybe we think about trading away Savard just because, we're not going to be able to keep this core together. There's no way. At least, you know, with the amount of cap that we have. Minus 11 for 4.2 for the next 3 years. 32 penalty minutes. What's the average for the penalty minutes on our team? I'm interested to see that. Okay, so 32 is actually second highest on our entire team. He's not performing well, boys. He's not performing too well, especially for a $4.25 million contract for 3 years. I mean, he's got 12 points, but for a defenseman that's mainly defensive, I know it has him as a two-way defenseman, but his defensive categories are much better than his offensive categories and are weighted much higher into his overall. So, I don't know, boys. I think maybe Savard may be a tradable asset here at the trade deadline. We'll have to see because, and maybe unload him and then a forward, like let's say, it might have to be like someone like Bjorkstrand, to be honest with you, because again, we're trading for a first liner. If we don't want to get rid of Duchesne or Saad, then it's got to be Bjorkstrand because there's no other place for him unless we move him down to the second line and we trade Yakupov. But Yakupov is second on our team in points, so I don't know what to do here. I'm gonna have to really think this over. Like, it might be a really short episode today, boys, just because I have no idea what to do here at the trade deadline. I mean, goaltending, we're solid. Defensively, again, that problem with Savard. Pouliot's a -2, but Pouliot's getting points. That's different. Pouliot and Leddy are different just because they're getting a lot of points. Whereas Savard, 12 points and -11, that's, at this point in the season, that's not good enough. Especially for someone who's earning more than $4 million. I don't know, man. I really it's gonna be a tough call here at the trade deadline because maybe you know what? What if we switched Savard? This might be a crazy idea, but what if we switched Savard to the bottom pair with Murray and then moved Harrington up with Pouliot? Because Harrington's got a nice plus-minus. He's the best plus defenseman on this team. So maybe I figure he could bring up Pouliot a little bit, and maybe Murray can bring up Savard a bit. I don't know, man. That might get him a little angry, though. We're going to have to keep him on the penalty kill in the power play, and he's not even on the power play, I don't think. Let me know on Savard, boys, because I don't know what to do about David Savard. He's not playing great defensively. He's not getting points. Yeah, I think he might be a tradable asset. Forward-wise, I got to review this again. Let's see. Plus-minus-wise, I mean, Atkinson, like, fair enough, but he's getting points. Josh Anderson, that might be... He might be someone to replace, or at least think about replacing. He hasn't really grown much, and he's -8, 15 points. I mean, 15 points for the first, fourth line isn't that bad. And he's growing, apparently, according to this screen here. He's a -8, and De La Rose, I mean, pretty much our whole fourth line. I mean, they're getting points, too, as fourth liners, which is unusual, especially, like, 20 points for Carlson and 60 games in. Like, he's on pace for about 25, potentially 30 points as a fourth liner. So I really don't know what to do. I'm gonna have to think this over a bit. Dubois, I know, boys. He's he's a minus. He's not getting too many points, but he is elite potential. He's grown. He started this season as an 80. He's now an 83. His shot is amazing. His skating is great. His physical category, besides the aggressiveness, is and body checking is pretty nice. And he's not a fighter, so that stat doesn't really matter. Puck skills could be improved. I mean, but that's why he's a third line scorer, right? And even if he does, even if he doesn't turn out what we want him to be as like a first line potential player, like with a not really that great puck skills category, we can always trade him, um, but not right now because we got to get his value up there first as a low elite potential. That's kind of dangerous if we trade him then and he turns out to be like an 87, 88 overall with his next team. Brandon Saad, I'm not going to trade him. I mean, here's the thing about Saad. He's really nicely rounded as a player. Yes, he is expensive for the amount of points that he gets per year, but again, he's really nicely rounded player, which is why he's our captain. Hudon, he's doing his job plus, I mean, not really, but he's doing better than all these guys up here, so, I mean, you can't really put all the blame on him. But then this is where it's confusing. So only our second line is outscoring their opponents. Every other line is like, you know what, maybe we should do some line changes. Maybe that's what this team needs. Because I don't know where I would move everyone though. Like I can make some changes with the third and fourth line, but with the first line, like I don't know what to do there. I mean, maybe Bjorkstrand could play third line and then just play first line power play and then maybe put him even on the penalty kill. He wouldn't be great on the penalty kill because of his physical categories and fantastic, and his shot blocking is really down there too. I don't really know what to. I mean, maybe we could put. You know what? Carlson's a bit more of an offensive player than he is defensive. What if we put Hudon on the fourth line and then put Carlson with Dubois and Atkinson? I don't know, man. I think maybe Carlson might be a tradable asset here because he doesn't have the greatest defensive or physical category. He's not fantastic offensively either, so it's like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this team, boys. I guess, again, we could try doing something like that. I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable putting Dale Rose or Anderson on the third line even. Like, we have so much depth on our top line, but here's on our top 9 lines, or I guess top 3 lines, depending on how you want to think about it, but Dubois, he's definitely a third liner. He doesn't have the puck skills to be on the second or first line. Hudon, I mean, again, that's Wenberg. He's more of an offensive player, so I definitely want to keep him in the top 6. Duchesne, like, obviously he's a first liner. Saad, again, more of a second liner as the game is saying, but, you know, who else do we really have to put up there? I mean, again, like, I don't want to break up this second line. It's doing fantastic, but I don't know if we have that chemistry anywhere else on this team. So it's yeah, we may need to make a trade or two here at the trade deadline. And you know what? I'm gonna end this video right here because I have no idea what to do right now. Like if I were to continue this video right now, I would just keep probably browsing the trade block, just looking at every single team and wasting all your guys' time. So I'm not gonna do that. So we're gonna end it here, and I'm gonna think about what trades I need to make because actually, you know, one thing I will do. Come on. One thing I will do before I end it off here, I will go through the trade block just to see what players are available. If you guys have any other ideas for trades, I mean, obviously feel free to throw them down below. But yeah, I'll just sort by overall here. So Anaheim, I mean, we're looking for NHL players. So actually, you know what would be easier? Rather than going straight into the trading screen, I didn't even, I just did trade players there. I'm going to go to trade and improve. I'm going to go to the trading block and then see what each team is, you know, most looking forward to giving up. So, okay, Anaheim, yeah, they're not looking to really give up too many of their veterans. Arizona, yeah, they're not looking to give up their veterans. I mean, they are, but not none of the good veterans. Boston just draft picks. Nelson. Nelson. Is he a right-hander? He is, but he's a minor top two. No, thank you. Done trying to grow players. We're going. We're trying to make a run here. Picard. No, we already have goaltender. Hoodler. Niemi Lettinen. Nope. I mean, Hoodler maybe. No. If it's a veteran like Hoodler, then like a veteran who's dropping like Hoodler, then it would need to be a 1-year contract. No, I'm not taking Hoodler. No way. Cronwall. He's really old. He has a 1-year contract. He's a +2 this year. He'd definitely be a top 6. He'd be playing top 6 minutes. Here's the thing: is he worth trading Savard for? It may be a bit risky, boys, just because he is very old for at least for the NHL. And their stats are way too similar, so I'm gonna say no for now to Cronwall, but I'll come back to him, I guess. He's not out of the picture yet, completely anyway. UC Jokinen. 38 assists. He's -10, but that's, Florida may not be doing too well. He has a $6 million salary, but 1 year left. He would be a solid rental player. He's a second liner, though. Well, the game has him listed as a second liner. But again, we don't need anyone for our second line. Our second line is fantastic. And I don't know. So Jokinen is an option, but I don't know exactly where he would fit in unless you guys have a suggestion, maybe move up Bjorkstrand. But again, I don't know if that would be worth moving up Bjorkstrand, right? Because Bjorkstrand is, I'm pretty sure, more than 10 years younger than Jokinen. Paul Martin, 4.8. He's got 1 year left on his contract, but not for. No, I think I would rather take Cronwall over Martin. Yeah, because of the physical category. Okay, LA, nope. Montoya, nope. Boychuk. No. That's a 4-year contract. I don't want that. No, thank you. Daniel Sedin. All right, here's the thing. 2 years left for Sedin. He's a second line forward. I would take Jokinen before Sedin. Boys. Let's see. New Jersey, no. Stahlberg, that could be an improvement over Josh Anderson, but, improving the fourth line, I'll have to think on that. I guess he wouldn't be the only asset we trade for if we trade with Ottawa. We would have to get someone like Mark Mathot back, maybe. He's a lefty. He's pretty solid defensively. He's -2 on the year, though. Brassard. Again, another second line player. No. We have no room for Brassard. So I'll keep Stahlberg in mind, but he's not going to be, again, if we make a trade with Ottawa, it's not going to be only for Stahlberg. No. Nope. Camilleri. Again, another one of those second liners that, veteran second liners that teams are willing to give up now when it's getting towards playoff time. When their value is probably at their highest. But again, would he be better than Bjorkstrand is the thing. Because Bjorkstrand's stats are technically better than Camilleri's. Because Bjorkstrand, remember, he's got shots in the 90s and high 80s, and puck skills, I believe he's in the very high 80s, if not 90s as well. So I don't know, man. I really don't know what trade we need to make. I know we need to make a trade. I'm not sure what we need to do. Edler, no, No, I want a right-handed defenseman because I'd be looking to move Savard if anyone. Yeah, no, there's no one. I mean, again, there's who was it? There's Cronwall. Yeah, there's Cronwall. Jokinen, I'm interested in a little bit just because he's an 87, but that contract is kind of for now. But obviously, it's only a 1-year deal, so that's not too bad. I'm not that interested in Sedin because he's got more than 1 year. Stahlberg, again, he's interesting, but I would need more value out of that trade because it would feel pointless. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough trade deadline here, boys. I know it for a fact. So, yeah, I know this video ended up being a lot longer than I intended it to, so I'm gonna end it off right here. So thank you all for watching, and leave comments down below on who you think we should trade for, who should be shipped out, and see you guys in the next one.